To do the left twist half hitch cast on, you're going to start with a long tail, just like you would for a long tail cast on. Now you're going to make a slip knot just like you normally would. So take a twist in your yarn, reach through the twist, and pull up a loop, and put that loop onto one of your needles, and pull it snug. Now you're going to orient your hands in the slingshot position, just like you would for the long tail cast on. So fingers go in between the yarns, your fingers grip the yarn underneath the pointer and the thumb, and you pull your needle tip down between your fingers and you're holding on to this slip knot. Now, the only thing we're going to change right now about this slingshot position is you're going to take your thumb out and reorient it the other way underneath the yarn. So you're going to take it out of that loop, come around the outside of the yarn, and bring your thumb up on the inside like this, okay? So it's sort of a variation on the slingshot position, and this is only for part of the cast on. And this is the weirdest part. This is the only thing to get used to, and it's totally worth it. So we're going to start off, we have a slip knot here, and we're going to start off by doing a half hitch stitch, which is like a backwards loop cast on stitch. Take your needle tip and come in between your fingers, and come get the loop of yarn that's on your thumb here in between your fingers with the needle tip, and bring the needle tip up, and just grab that loop. This is a half hitch stitch, just like just like the backwards loop cast on. Now take your thumb and bring it in between your fingers like this, between the yarns, and rotate it out towards you and snug up that stitch. So you've just done a half hitch stitch on your needle, all right? And your hands are oriented like they normally are for the long tail cast on. All right, now you're going to do a long tail cast on stitch. So take the needle, come under the loop of yarn on your thumb on the outside, bring the yarn up, go over the yarn that's on your pointer finger, around over the back and catch it. Now bring the needle tip back through the loop of yarn on your thumb. Needle tip comes up, let go of your thumb, and instead of coming back inside like you normally would, come around towards you, under and through the yarn on your thumb, and tighten that stitch. You might have to let go of the yarn on your hand and just tighten everything up until you get into a rhythm. All right, so now you've just done a long tail cast on stitch. Okay, and the way that you can tell that is because both yarns are coming off this stitch right here. Now it's time to do a half hitch stitch. We're just going to alternate them. Okay, so holding these stitches so that they do what you want, right, so that they don't escape from you. Come with your needle tip in between your fingers and get the loop of yarn on your thumb, bring it up and let go. And this time reorient your thumbs like normal with the thumb coming around the outside and up. So now we've just done a half hitch stitch, and you can tell because only one piece of yarn is coming off of it right here. Okay, the other piece of yarn is still on the long tail cast on stitch. So if you have to stop or you get interrupted or you get confused, just know that if you've got one with yarn by itself, then that is the half hitch stitch that you just did. Okay, so let's continue going. We're gonna just alternate the two stitches. All right, so for the long tail cast on the yarn, your thumb comes around the outside of the yarn and under. Okay, right? Now I'm so confused. I'm sorry. For the long tail cast on, your thumb comes between your fingers and out towards you like that. All right. Take the right hand needle tip, come under the loop of yarn on thumb, over the strand on your finger, back to the loop on your thumb, and then instead of reinserting your thumb on the inside, you come through the outside. All right. So we'll just alternate those two. It's just the only little twist is the thumb. So we're going to do it a little faster and speed it up and show you the rhythm. All right. Let's get the half hitch and the long tail cast on. This is what I end up doing. I end up retightening for the long tail cast on and then switching it like that. That's what I noticed. Half hitch, retighten, long tail cast on, tighten and switch, half hitch, tighten, long tail cast on, tighten, readjust, and switch. Half hitch, long tail cast on, tighten, and switch. Half hitch, tighten, long tail cast on. You can see with this cast on that it is casting on the stitches sort of in pairs right here. Knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. So it's going to be really easy to count. Let's go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and we have 15. So we want to end up with a half hitch stitch. All right, which is basically like doing a purl stitch. So we'll do the half hitch, and that's going to be the end of the cast on. All right, and that way we'll have an even number when we do our ribbing. So this is what the left twist half hitch cast on looks like after it's all done casting on. This is the bottom edge right here. It's not quite as stretchy as the Jeny's surprisingly stretchy bind off that I did to bind off the swatch. But look at that. I mean, that is pretty darn stretchy and so fast and easy that it's definitely my go-to stretchy long tail cast on.